The truth is, no one can offend you unless you allow it. Think about it. Someone says something rude. They criticize your appearance, question your intelligence, or try to provoke you. And before you even realize it, your heart races, your fists clench, and you're already reacting. But what if I told you that their words only have power because you gave them that power? Today, you're going to learn how the Stoics build a mental shield so strong, no insult could break through it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stop letting criticism, offense, and stress control your emotions. From a young age, we're conditioned to react. Someone disrespects us, and we feel we must defend ourselves. Someone questions us, and we feel we must prove them wrong. This reaction is automatic. It comes from the ego, from insecurity, from the constant need to be seen, heard, and validated. But here's the problem. Every time you react with anger, frustration, or offense, you're handing over your power. You're giving someone else the remote control to your mind. And all they have to do is press a button, an insult, a look, a comment, and suddenly you're no longer in control. You become predictable, easy to manipulate, easy to trigger. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize it's happening. But the Stoics did, and they found a way to take the control back. Stoicism is not just a philosophy. It's a practical guide for how to live with strength, clarity, and peace in a world you cannot control. At its core, Stoicism teaches one powerful idea. You have no control over what happens outside of you, but you have total control over how you respond to it. This mindset is what made Stoicism different from most philosophies. It wasn't meant to be debated in classrooms. It was designed to be lived, especially during hardship. The Stoics believe that suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from our judgments about those events. They trained their minds to stay calm in the storm, not because they didn't feel emotions, but because they learned to master them. Three names stand out in Stoic philosophy: Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome; Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher; and Seneca, a wealthy advisor to the Emperor Nero. Each of them faced extreme pressure, loss, betrayal, and fear, just like we all do, in different forms. But what made them different was how they responded. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during plagues, wars, and constant political tension. And yet, he wrote daily reflections reminding himself to stay humble, to stay in control, and to focus only on what was his to control: his thoughts, his actions, his attitude. Epictetus was born into slavery. He had no freedom, no rights, no power over his life. But he realized something most never do. Even if your body is chained, your mind is still free. And that inner freedom, your ability to choose your response, is where true strength lies. Seneca, surrounded by wealth and influence, warned against anger, attachment, and impulsiveness. He believed that we should rehearse adversity in our minds, so that when difficulty arrives, we are not surprised, but ready. But Stoicism didn't end with the ancient world. Its wisdom has echoed through history. Nelson Mandela, locked away for 27 years in a small prison cell, used Stoic principles to survive with dignity. He refused to let his captors define his identity or control his emotions. He knew he could not change a situation, but he could control his mind. And that decision changed the course of a nation. This is what Stoicism offers: a mental shield, a calm center in the middle of chaos, the ability to live on your terms, no matter what's happening around you. It's not about ignoring pain or pretending to be emotionless. It's about seeing things clearly and choosing your response with wisdom, not impulse. And once you begin to live that way, everything changes. Criticism loses its sting. Negativity loses its grip, and you become stronger, not by chance, but by choice. Most people move through life reacting. They hear something offensive and instantly feel hurt. They receive a harsh comment and immediately get angry or defensive. But what if the insult isn't the real problem? What if the problem is how you interpret it? This is one of the most powerful ideas in Stoic philosophy. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic teachers, said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinion about them. An insult has no meaning until you give it one." A rude comment is just sound until your mind decides it's an attack. And here's the truth. The words and actions of others say far more about them than about you. Someone who lashes out, insults, or criticizes without thinking is showing you their own pain, their own insecurity, their lack of self-awareness. The Stoics believed that you always have a choice. You may not choose what someone says to you, but you can always choose how you interpret it and how you respond. There is a space between stimulus and response, and that space is your power. That's where you decide, do I let this control me, or do I remain in control of myself? Let's look at some real-life examples. Someone insults you on the street. They call you a name, challenge your pride. Your first instinct might be to react, fight back, prove yourself. But a Stoic sees this differently. They ask, what does this person's anger say about them? They realize, this is their problem, not mine, and they walk away, still in control. Now imagine a situation at work. Your boss gives you sharp criticism in front of others. You feel embarrassed, maybe even angry. But here's the reframing. Instead of seeing it as an attack, ask, is there something I can learn from this? Is this an opportunity to grow? When you shift your mindset from personal offense to personal growth, everything changes. You become harder to shake, less reactive, more composed. And that doesn't mean you tolerate abuse. It means you decide who and what is worth your emotional energy. Not every opinion matters. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every critic deserves your attention. This is the strength of the Stoic mindset. It doesn't block emotion, it puts it in perspective. It doesn't ignore problems, it reframes them into lessons. It doesn't seek revenge, it seeks understanding and mastery. And when you live like that, offenses lose their power. Criticism becomes information, and your mind becomes your own again. In today's world, many people believe that if you don't react, you're weak. That staying silent means accepting disrespect. That ignoring an insult means you lost. But the Stoics saw things differently. They believed that true strength isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need to prove anything. True strength is quiet. It's calm. It chooses peace over pride. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike those who wrong you." When someone offends you, and you don't respond with anger, you're not being passive. You're being powerful. Because the moment you react to every comment, every insult, every provocation, you become a slave to the outside world. Anyone can press your buttons. Anyone can control your emotions. But when you learn to ignore what doesn't deserve your energy, you take that power back. Ignoring is not weakness. It's a decision to protect your peace. It says, my mind is mine, my emotions are mine, and not everything deserves a reaction. That is not giving up. That is rising above. Stoicism is not just a way of thinking. It's a way of living. And the only way to build true emotional resilience is through daily practice. Here are 4 Stoic techniques you can start using today to strengthen your mind and stay in control, no matter what life throws at you. First, Stoic journaling. Every morning or every night, take a few minutes to write. Ask yourself, what bothered me today? How did I react? Was that the best version of myself? Then write how you could have responded, with calm, with patience, with reason. This builds awareness. And awareness is the first step to self-mastery. Second, negative visualization. The Stoics called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. Imagine small setbacks that might happen during your day. Traffic, criticism, delay, disagreement. Don't do this to create fear. Do it to prepare your mind. When a moment comes, it won't catch you off guard. You'll face it with clarity, not emotion. Third, the dichotomy of control. This is the heart of Stoic thinking. There are 2 types of things in life: what you can control and what you can't. You can control your thoughts, your decisions, your actions. You cannot control other people, the past, or random events. So when something happens, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it is, act. If it isn't, let it go. This single question can bring instant clarity and peace. Fourth, mental anchors. Stoic phrases you repeat when things get tough. Short mantras that ground your mind and reset your emotions. This is not under my control. This emotion will pass. I don't have to respond right now. I'm stronger than this moment. These phrases are reminders, small but powerful. They break the pattern of emotional reaction and bring you back to reason. Like training a muscle, the more you practice these tools, the stronger your inner discipline becomes. And with time, you'll stop being controlled by the world around you, because you'll have mastered the world within you. Now you have the tools to stop letting criticism, insults, and stress control your mind. You've learned how to reframe offense, how to choose your response, and how to build daily Stoic habits that make you mentally stronger. You don't have to be a prisoner of your emotions anymore. The control is in your hands. Leave a comment below and share. How do you usually deal with criticism? And which of these Stoic practices will you try first? If you want to go even deeper, watch the next video. How Marcus Aurelius managed the stress of an empire. And don't forget to subscribe for more ways to master your mind through ancient wisdom and modern clarity.